have no idea where my children get that stuff.
Hello, my creepy pobles. Welcome to Creepy Corners. I'm here with Tweetness. And Tweetness is here with me.
Claire came over for Christmas. She traveled 7 hours-ish.
Ish. So, why are we here? What are we doing?
We're going to do a little thing about a movie.
Alright, so spoiler alert. I took it off your chair.
Thought maybe the dog got on the chair. Right?
Spoiler alert. We're going to be talking about A Christmas Carol, or Scrooge, or whatever movie you've seen. I haven't read the book. Have you read the book?
No.
Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. It's a classic. So if you've not seen it, if you've not seen any of the movies, there are so many movies about it. Or if you haven't read the book, then maybe don't watch this because we might spoil it for you.
It's been out a long time, though. So,
very
people know.
A very long time.
That's kind of the story about it.
So the other night we were talking on Skype, and I had watched Scrooge, the 1935 Scrooge version of the movie. And of course, we've seen a bunch of different ones. But I got thinking about the Scrooge himself and the whole story, and of course it has ghosts in it, so that sort of prompted me to think about it even more. And so what I said to Mom was, let me tell you something. I basically was saying that, okay, so let me take you through the process of these ghosts. So the very first ghost that Scrooge sees is Jacob Marley, which was his partner in his business. And to me, and I feel like I should have saved this for now because I feel like I've already sort of spent all my passion about my opinion.
Plus the fact that this guy, he's older, he's mean as anything.
He's mean, yeah. He's super
just
mean.
Horrible.
Yeah. He doesn't care about the poor. He doesn't care about his family. He definitely doesn't care about Christmas or the Christmas spirit.
And that might be it too, because he doesn't even care about himself.
He doesn't care about himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about his worker, Cratchit. He doesn't care about him. And basically even starts out with, Cratchit wants to put more coal on the fire, and Scrooge is telling him, what do you just like spending my money? Basically, he's all about money. Well, so when he gets home, he sees Jacob Marley's ghostly face in his door knocker, and it scares him, of course. But he thinks he's just, seeing things or whatever. So then he goes up to his room or to his house, and he's sitting there by the fire. And Jacob Marley actually comes to him, and he's got these chains hanging off of him. And my point about that was, me personally, I would be scared immediately.
Yeah.
If my old business partner came to me and said, you've got to stop living the way you're living, otherwise you're going to end up like me, because I built this chain in life by not caring about humanity and not caring about society and stuff. So...
yeah, you would think that first time it would something.
But he blames it on maybe he ate something bad, or maybe he's,
right.
So he tries to sort of let it go. And Marley tells him, you're going to be visited by 3 ghosts. And the ghosts are the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas yet to come. And so, of course, I think Scrooge was kind of scared at that point.
Yeah, I don't think he wasn't concerned. He didn't think it was going to happen. He was just like, oh, whatever, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So then he goes to bed, and at midnight, the first ghost shows up, which is the ghost of Christmas past. And depending on which movie you watch, or if you read the book, which again, I haven't read the book, but depending on which version of the movie, in some of them, they take you back through and show you his childhood and how he had a bad relationship with his dad and how he really loved his sister and he even had problems, I think, at school maybe, but he had bad stuff happen to him throughout the years. And then they show him getting a job as with Fezziwig. We didn't talk about Fezziwig the other night. So Fezziwig was the good boss, the one that really celebrated Christmas and let all his people take off work and donated to people. Yeah. And so, but that's where he met his love interest, was at that job. Well, then they skip ahead and they show how his love of money made his love interest. He preferred money over her, basically, is how she looked at it. And so she left him.
Right, and
that was like
part of the thing what happens to you in the past is that it affects you the way you want it to. So this is how he let it affect him. He'd rather do the money.
Right.
Maybe, since you said that, maybe he just didn't want to get hurt.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
So it makes you think. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he figured money could never hurt him as long as he was making it, and people can. And because you wrap all your feelings up in that and whatever. Yeah, I could see that. But she.
But did he lose his sister?
His sister. Yeah. So his sister winds up dying later, when she's given birth to his nephew.
Yeah.
And you see his nephew in the very beginning of the movie, where he comes in and is wishing him a Merry Christmas, and he's saying "Bah humbug" to the nephew.
Yeah.
And the nephew's saying, "I don't care what you say. I'm gonna still keep Christmas the way I'm gonna keep it." And Scrooge is basically telling him, "Well, then let me keep it in my way," and which is not at all. So you go through all this past with him, and you see kind of how he became who he is today, in the present, and then you sort of feel like he's starting to get it, but is he really, or is he still thinking he's hallucinating, or does he feel like he's dreaming, or is a change starting to happen?
Right, and that was where we're thinking it takes a lot to get through to somebody.
Especially,
so in other words, they're going to have to go to another stage here.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, the Ghost of Christmas Present comes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, depending on what version of the movie you see, the Ghost of Christmas Present though is always very, just a big. He almost looks like Santa, right? He's big and fat and eating, and he's got a bunch of like a cornucopia of food and all this stuff around him. And he takes them and shows him how the Cratchits celebrate Christmas, even though they have very little to eat. And he takes them to his nephew's house, and he shows how the other people think of him, even in the present time.
And they still are happy.
Right.
Yeah, they're happy.
Even though they don't have much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're happy in their families, and they're happy. And so maybe in that moment he's realizing that he's realizing more and more that he's alone. And that starts to scare him or make him realize that if he keeps going down this path that he's
going to be by himself.
Yeah.
Till death.
Right.
But it's helping us as a reader or viewer see that it doesn't take. I'm seeing already you can be happy and not have money.
Right. It's not all about the money. So he's seen all the present day stuff. He understands what the other families and stuff do. And then for the Ghost of Christmas Present, or Christmas Yet to Come, it's this sort of a Grim Reaper looking thing, or just a hand in some movies, or whatever. And he first shows Scrooge how these people who have robbed this dead person's chamber, basically, and taken the bedclothes and all the stuff, and is selling it, and how much they talked horribly about him, but they don't reveal who it was. And so Scrooge is saying, "Tell me who this was." Well,
yeah, we all kind of
know. Yeah, we know who it is, but he still doesn't know. But then they also show, I forgot about the Christmas Present, where he's talking with the ghost, and they talking about Tiny Tim, and he starts in that moment to say, is the boy going to survive? And so you sort of see him start to transition at that point, and he seems worried. But then my question when we were talking about it was, what did he really care? Or, at what point does he actually start to make that change? Well, then at the end, he sees that Tiny Tim has died, with the ghost of Christmas Yet to Come.
Yeah.
He sees that somebody else has died, which we later find out was him. But then that's the thing where he completely loses his mind and is begging to be spared. And so my original point to Mom was, I felt like that's when he actually cared, because it was about him in that moment. But
Yeah.
Mom made some really good points about how he's been changing all along.
He has, but yeah, it takes a lot of people that long. You see all these other things, then you see, oh, it's me dead. Okay, so I'm affecting all these other lives. But yeah, your question is, was that the whole thing of the movie? Is that what it took? Why couldn't it just take where he saw the kid being sick and
or even
his
the
family,
first, even Marley coming and
Yeah.
saying, I was your partner in life. I was your trusted business partner. You have to listen to me.
Yeah.
Why wasn't that enough
Right.
for him to just say? I mean, of course, it wouldn't be a good story if
Right.
it just stopped there. But in reality, wouldn't that be enough?
Right.
And maybe not. Depends on how Scroogey the person is.
Yeah. Well, this guy was.
He was horrible. And then at the end, he is so excited that he didn't miss the day, and that he sends the one kid to go get the prize goose in the window, and send it to the Cratchits. And I really like when he, the next day at work, Cratchit shows up early. Well, he's kind of late, and says how he'd been making merry the day before, and Scrooge is acting like he's mad still, and he tells him he's going to increase his salary, which it's all great. But it's just, what was really the turning point? Did it start from the very beginning and just occur all the way through? And that's the question we're posing to you,
Right.
is where do you think the real turning point for Scrooge was? Did it happen over time, or was it that very end where he saw his own gravestone?
Or should it have taken that long to get it?
Yeah.
But like I said, I think it took that long for each person is at a different stage would probably have gotten it.
Right?
I mean,
You would hope so.
I might have. I hope I never get that mean. Oh, how could a little elf get that mean?
Right. But so that was it. We were talking about that, and I thought it would be a fun video to make to get your feedback and what you think. And I may put this on Spooky University and here on Creepy Corners.
Yeah.
And Mom might put it on Tweetness, her channel. Maybe.
Okay.
Anything else you want to say?
No, just don't be mean and old and grumpy. And it's not all about money, and unless it is for you. I'm not going to fight you.
Let's not fight about it.
Let's not fight about it.
No, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
think see the good in what's around, even when bad stuff happens. That something. Well, I mean, just in even though the sister passed away while she was giving
Right.
birth, she gave birth to a wonderful person,
Right.
and she actually
Try to look for the positive.
try to
in
look.
things.
Yeah,
And we have, each person's different. Some of us go through terrible things to become caring, wonderful people, where some people just turn the other way and are mad at the world their whole life. And there's some people that have everything and same thing happens. It's
Yeah.
all in how you think about things.
I agree with that.
That's why we're all different and we have different opinions.
Right.
And we respect each other's opinions.
We really should. Yeah. So I think that was it. We just wanted to talk about that. I thought that would be a cool topic, especially since we're right here in the holiday season, and some people are celebrating Christmas, some people are celebrating other things, but I think it's a good story, and one to really talk about, and one that truly has a happy ending after all.
Yeah.
Unlike, and don't get me started on, It's a Wonderful Life. We can talk about that some other time. All right, well, have a good day or good night wherever you are. It's her favorite.
My
when
favorite
I say
thing
that.
of all. And Merry Christmas, Happy
Yeah,
New Year.
Merry Christmas,
and,
Happy New Year. And
and don't be a Scrooge.
don't be a Scrooge. Or if you are a Scrooge now,
Be a Scrooged.
try to find your way to some happiness.
Yes.
And
Just call on us. Right? We'll make you feel happy. We wish you a Merry
oh my
Christmas.
gosh, that was in my head. I was about to start singing that.
And a happy
New
year.
squirrel. Okay, bye. Thank you for watching. Click here to subscribe or click here to watch another video. I'll see you later, creepy poples.